Celeste has been one of the most popular speedruns of the recent years, and last week another major milestone has been broken in any percent. Marlon got on April 1st the first ever sub 27 any percent run as a human being, so today I am going over what happened in the past months to push the time finally beyond the 27-minute mark and what we can expect in the future of Celeste Any percent. Hello everybody, my name is Flash177, and before I go any deeper into this video, I first wanna say huge congrats to fellow German speedrunner Marlon for getting the first sub 27, huge accomplishment. Also wanna say thank you for providing most of the video footage and information provided in this video. He helped a ton making this video, so please check him out, links are in the description. But let's start with the video. How did we get to sub 27? Since the last major milestone, which was breaking the 28-minute mark, a lot has happened. TGH was the first human to do so with his 27:55 run back in February 2019, but also back then runners like Marlon and Chai, to name a few, were very close behind him. TGH and Marlon traded a little bit the world records before it stopped at the 27:31 mark, the world record at its time by TGH. The progress from 27:55 to 27:31 took the community already 6 months, from February to August 2019. In that progress, a lot of new strats have been implemented onto the route, and overall small improvements in movement and consistency have been made in nearly every section of the run. To give you guys a few examples of new strats, here are a few that happened from during that time. We can find a few new strats in chapter 4. There we have the improvement of the first autoscroller strat, where you skip the block completely abusing a technique called ceiling pops, saving around 2 seconds. Explaining the strat in its details, since it is quite complex, would be too much for this video, so make sure to subscribe, since there will be a video featuring all autoscroller changes over the years, explaining them in detail. TGH also improved the second autoscroller. Using the ultra strat there saves around 2 seconds as well. This strat has been around since 2018, but TGH hasn't used it in his 27:55 run. Overall, chapter 4 improved by 6 seconds, which is the biggest improvement compared to the 27:55 run, along with the 12-second improvement in Summit. Here you can see the individual chapter times between the two runs, actually showing that even though the run is faster by 24 seconds, not every chapter is played better. Looking at you, chapter 2. The major improvement in Summit is mostly due to consistency improvement and a lot of minor strat analysis and optimization. The biggest strat change in Summit during this time is the implementation of the autoscroller skip, where we skip the original autoscroller skip, saving another 2 seconds. And I know it sounds silly. Overall, these time comparisons are nice to look at and easy to understand, but I also gotta say that most of those times were already doable. It shows once again it is more a question of, is a runner willing to put in the effort to pull off such a any percent run, and it's less of a question what new strats did we found to make it this far. I still showed it to represent something to you. In fact, most of the strats got found at the time and are worth to mention as an overall improvement. With that, the world record improvement stopped at first, since both Marlon and TGH got kinda busy with other speedruns or their real lives. The next best person who tries to claim world record was Chai, and after a long grind and a lot of time passing by, he actually beats the world record by 0.1 seconds in December 2019. Then, in early 2020, the real world record hunt began, as we can see in this graph how often the world record got improved at that time. All three were grinding down the time just 2 months ago. As you can see by this leaderboard, it was a pretty intense race to the ultimate goal and to a new world record. This is a prime example of how much good competitiveness can do in a speedrun. Without having multiple runners competing for the same world record, the progress would have been a lot longer, most likely, and also less exciting. With that, everybody got something out of the situation. The runners got pumped, the community got invested into figuring out faster strats together, and the viewer just had a nice and intense race towards world record and sub 27 to watch. Even a competitive speedrun race with a $5,000 prize pool happened at the time between Marlon and TGH. Highly recommend watching that race, link is in the description with the English commentary. But what happened thread-wise that made sub 27 so much more realistic? The biggest change in Route has been the implementation of 6B. Similar to 5B, it is faster to complete the B side of Reflection instead of playing through the regular A side of that chapter. For those who are unaware, the A side of a chapter is the regular story chapter in the game. A B side, however, is a hidden, harder version of the original level, which you can find and unlock in each A side. However, beating the B side unlocks the next A side, so when you beat 6B, you unlock Chapter 7. That was not originally intended by the developers, but they left that in the game because it made the speedrun more interesting. Using 6B instead of 6A can save various amount of times. Talking to different runners, I got answers from on average about 10 seconds to it really depends a lot and there is no clear answer to give. The thing is, we knew since a very long time that 6B is faster than 6A. The test already used 6B back in 2018 and shoutouts to Revo, a runner from Argentina, who also ran 6B in any percent already in 2018. The reason why world record is using 6B now is more to answer with high level runners finally decided it is worth the effort and they were willing to invest the time for the world record and ultimately sub 27. Since learning 6B from the ground to such a level takes time and effort. The other big reason is people started to grind and play the game a whole lot more. There hasn't been really something majorly new that got found, people just save very little time, you can even say just frames each room that adds up, so all it took was that. With that being said, what can we expect from the future and how high is the potential of any percent right now? Well, besides Marlon, TGH will probably be the next runner who gets sub 27, but who knows how far he wants to go from there. Marlon himself said he will for now take a break from any percent and will focus on other categories in Celeste, such as ARB. In my opinion, there are runners out there who have the potential to get sub 27 still this year, Babai and Chai Kitty are two of them, but they are also focused on ARB right now. Probably if TGH does not decide to push the limits further than Marlon has so far, we won't see major improvements in any percent for now. Getting to a mid 26 is definitely in the range of possibilities, but getting to a sub 26 is far in the future. We already know sub 26 is theoretically RTA possible. If we look at each individual world record for every level in any percent, we are currently at a 25.55. But all those individual level strats are on another level compared to the current any percent world record. Just to give you a little example, there is a strat in chapter 4 skipping this autoscroller block completely, which saves 6 seconds. But this strat is so hard there has never been an any percent run completed with this strat and only 4 people, referring to the level leaderboard, have ever done it in a chapter 4 speedrun, showing, yeah, this strat is really hard. Every other chapter has similar examples or are overall very difficult to beat them that fast under any percent circumstances, at least for now. I would most likely predict the sub 26 in 2 or 3 years or even longer. It would take a lot of effort unless we find a new glitch or skip that would be really helpful and allowed in any percent. Until then, we can just wait and dream for the next major milestone to be broken. If you now want to learn more about the Celeste speedrun history, I have a video about the 5 biggest changes in any percent right here, so check that out. Also, if you have any questions regarding this video, don't be shy and hit me up in the comment section. Otherwise, I will see you on my social media, on my stream, all links are in the description, and thank you for watching, hope you enjoyed the video. Get out! No! No!